good evening everyone. I hope you can hear me. Namaskaram to everyone. So I'll start with a story of check writing. I started my career around 21 years back, and at that point in time, as somebody was mentioning, I was speaking to Venki some time back. Client wanted to start 3 SIPs or 4 SIPs, I don't recall, some 2,500 rupees each. I was fresh out of college. So in college, when we used to write answer sheets, we used to leave some margin and then start writing. I didn't know. I took the check, left some margin and then started writing. So totally I had to write 36 checks. God knows how many mistakes I made. 2,500 rupees, 1 SIP, 3 SIPs, 7,500 rupees, 36 checks. And I don't know how many mistakes I made. Luckily my boss didn't throw me out. That's my story number 1 of writing checks for clients. Now as I move forward, this is, I believe, the 9th conference of Ignite for the AIFA Association. So I am thinking to share 9 things that I have learned over my time. So first question to all of you, are you investment managers or investor managers? How many are investment managers here? Investment managers. Of course, you are a legend, right? So, how many are investor managers here? And the others are? So, when clients pose this question, what sector is looking good? How are the markets looking? How do you think things will behave? I, over a period of time, have figured a very simple answer. I'm being very honest here. The simple answer is that I am not an investment manager. I am not the guy who knows which stock to buy. I am not the guy who knows which sector to buy. What I do know and where I spend my time is with you, understanding what your family's requirements are, what is important for you as an individual, what is important for you as a family. So I am an investor manager and I am not an investment manager. When I answer that question, a big load is taken off me. Otherwise, what would happen is that on every news, every event, I would get calls. What do you think? What is your opinion? I say my opinion is the same. We stick to your asset allocation. We stick to the plan that we made for you because that is what is right for you. So my first submission to you all, and this is something that I learned over a period of time, is that our role is of an investor manager and not of an investment manager. Sometimes we get carried away. We listen to all these presentations with PMI, HMI, this, that, and then we think we need to give all of that to our clients. No, we don't need to give that to our clients. Yeah? How many of you with me on this? So how many of you are investor managers? Okay, perfect. I hope there is some conversion here. Now how many have been investing in stocks directly? Raise of hands. I'm sure it should be 100%. Everyone has a demat account. You have 2 companies to invest in. One company, very volatile earnings. Goes up, goes down. One company gives consistent earnings quarter on quarter, year on year. Which one would you invest in? Company A or company B? Sorry? Company B, which gives consistent returns, consistent earnings, right? Good quality of growth. How many of you here have more than 70-80% of your AUM in equities? Your mutual fund AUM in equities. So, you are running a company with very volatile earnings. Yes, it gives growth in the long run, but very volatile earnings, right? So what we all need, and which is what I'm saying here, your AUM is your portfolio. You should diversify it for yourself so that you have more consistent growth in your earnings. Agree, disagree? Make sense, does not make sense? Makes sense. So, how many of you don't do any other asset class other than equity? I believe India long-term story, we will only do equities and nothing else. Or nobody, okay, great. How many of you have more than 20% of your assets in debt? What about the rest? 10% only. Very aggressive investors, very aggressive advisor. As far as India is concerned, there is no risk. It reminds me of a story, sir. I started my career in 2003. 2003 to 2008 was a fantastic bull market. My father, many years elder to me, very experienced, told me your portfolio is doing well. You should sell some. I said, no. I have read Warren Buffett. I am a long-term investor. And what happened to my portfolio after a year? Not 50% down, sir. I was first time, right? So I bought a lot of ideas which I should have never touched. So the portfolio markets were down 50%. I was down a lot more than the market. These stories, not high beta, maybe bigda hua beta, right? So my point here is that this thing of, oh, India is glowing, India is shining, is fine, but you should diversify your portfolio and to that extent diversify the AUM. That's my second Ignite idea for you guys. How many of you have done your NISM 5A exams? Raise of hands. Everyone has done. How many of you have done any other exam other than NISM 5A? Okay, what about the others? Okay, what exams have people done? 21A. What is that? PMS. Okay. Okay, apart from NISM 5A and PMS exams, which are the other exams you have done? Sorry? Retirement advisor. What else? Cash and derivatives for the broking terminal. Okay. Sorry? Okay, 10A, NISM 10A. All right. Anyone else has done any other exams? Yes, sir? Research analyst exams. Okay, fantastic. I remember when we initially started in my career is that mutual funds was a relatively new concept. There was no ads of Dhoni and Sachin Tendulkar going out and saying mutual fund sahi hai. So in the absence of that, we used to take fact sheets with us, physical fact sheets. Show the client that, hey, your money is not being fleeced away. This is where your money is going. But over a period of time now, because mutual fund sahi hai, and everyone knows mutual fund sahi hai, where is my value add? Do I need to move up the value chain or no? I highly encourage each one of you to think about doing programs like Certified Financial Planner or the, I think Network FP runs one financial planner program. But do something beyond just the product license that you need, because that is what will take you further from being just a knowing mutual funds. Does that make sense? How many of you would be willing to invest that time? On this NISM exams, etc., I have another reason why I am saying this. How many of you here are in the MFD business for less than 5 years? Please raise your hands. So when you are not experienced, right? When you are not experienced, what do you show? In my visiting card, I write CFP, CFA, all of that. Once I'm experienced, I say I have been through the 2008 cycle. I've seen multiple cycles, I can guide you better. So I highly encourage people who are starting their careers. 5 years is nothing, you will have a career of at least 5 decades. Get some degrees to your name. It will really help you in moving your practice forward in a much stronger way. I'll move forward. They say bull market teaches you all the wrong things. Bull market teaches you all the wrong things. So I have one big painting in my house. Big painting, it's not opened, it's in one big wooden box. Anyone who comes to my house and visits that part of my house asks me, what is that? I said, you see, 2007-8, I had figured out I was the next Warren Buffett. So I started buying art also. I bought one nice big painting because somebody said that art appreciates, so I bought art. And I have kept that as a reminder for myself to say that bull market teaches you all the wrong things. Your actual learning. So what you call Agni Pariksha happens in the bear market. So read about the bear markets of the past, but reading does not help because we will make our own set of mistakes. Reading will help you little bit, but we will still want to make mistakes. I remember after 2008 happened, I sent out an email to all the team members and I said, tell me one thing that you will never do again in your career as an investment advisor. And they said, we will not sell sectoral funds. Why? Because everyone bought lot of infrastructure funds because, hey, India needs roads, bridges, this, that. And if you see last 9 months data, highest selling category is sectoral funds. So they say history does not repeat, history rhymes, right? So how many of you, I'll tell you the problem with this 100% equity AUM, why do we have 100% equity AUM? What is our role? Is our role of getting the money and putting it in a particular scheme, or is our role of advising the client and telling where to put the money? Yes? Huh? What is our role? Is our role of just taking the money where the client tells to put the money, or tell him where he should actually be putting the money? Yes? Advising, right? Advising. And advising means at times saying no to certain things. Saying no to a client who says, I want to buy small cap fund right now. Or this sector has done well. Why don't you give me this sectoral fund? If we don't say no and we are just doing what the client is telling us to do, at some point in time he will say, you are anyways doing what I am asking you to do, what is your use? So saying no is a very, very important part of our job. Saying no in many areas, right? Sometimes don't do certain things. Say no, I will not do this product because it does not make sense to us. So saying no has to be an important part of your arsenal for making the transition from being a person who just sells products to a person who actually advises people. So AIFA team is very, very gracious. I think hospitality runs in Kerala, right? It runs. So Ram came and picked me up in the morning and he asked me, have you ever been to Kerala? I said, in fact, in the last 1 year, I've come here 4 times. And it's such a beautiful place. And I think the reason of why I have come here so many times and I find it so beautiful because I am born and brought up in a place called Jorhat in Assam. Very similar kind of greens and weather and rains. Obviously not as beautiful beaches and all of that. But yeah. So why am I talking about the tier 2 opportunity? I started a business in Assam around 13 years back. And at that point in time, the only reason to start that business was that I will get more opportunities to go back home and meet my parents and family members. Little did I know that there is a massive opportunity that is there. But today, the name of the company there is Integrity. We are one of the largest player in Northeast. We have over 3,000 customers. But the most interesting part is that 80-90% of the customers are buying term insurance for the first time, health insurance for the first time, doing SIP for the first time, and that satisfaction that you get is just amazing. But the point is that there is a massive opportunity, and I'll tell you where that massive opportunity is. So we opened an office in Surat, and Surat is the exact opposite of what a Guwahati is. Everyone has done everything, right? and you are like challenged as to, what do I tell people here? I don't know. My toolkit is now not working here because they know more than I do. They are telling me, ये stock खरीद लो, इस IPO में पैसा लगा दो, do this, do that. So very interesting conversation happened with one client, and he said, don't give me these ideas of becoming crorepati. Tell me, how can I get 100 crores in the next 20 years? 100 crores in the next 20 years. So 6 lakh rupees per month over 20 years, 12% or 15% will become roughly around 100 crores. We took that idea and we imported that idea to Guwahati, and we started talking to people, saying that, hey, if you do this, 100 crores. I want to be part of that 100 crore club, client is saying. Then he's telling other friends, I am part of that 100 crore club. So my point is that we think sometimes tier 2, tier 3 is about very small clients, new people, don't understand, don't have the money, but I think there is a massive opportunity that awaits us in tier 2 places. And the biggest advantage is that all these app gaps and all of them are English communication. They are not talking the local language. They are not talking to the local people. So there's a massive opportunity for people who are focused regionally to create a great business and practice for yourself. I'm doing good on time. How many of you here do investment awareness programs? Please raise of hands. Why are others not doing investment awareness programs? If you can't do it, you have these other people who raise their hand, get your clients and ask them to speak on your behalf. In the last 13 years that we have been in Northeast, and I'm shifting from Bangalore to Northeast, I spend most of my time in Bangalore. We have done close to 300 IAPs. Close to 300 IAPs. And the reason is very simple. We need to get 3 people, 4 people, 5 people. It does not matter where we get. Women's club, somebody's office, somebody's clinic, somebody's workshop. Wherever there are 5, 6 people willing to listen, we are willing to speak. Why shouldn't I speak? When I am doing the right thing, when I am selling the right thing, when the product that I offer is a fantastic product for their future, why should I be ashamed? And this goes back to a story of mine, and which is a personal story. So, this is around, and this is possibly one of the reasons why we opened that business in Northeast. It was Diwali time. A cousin of mine passed away in an accident. So he did puja in his office, was going back home. There were some kids coming from the other side very fast, came and hit him, and he passed away. The next day, he had a 5-year-old daughter. And all the insurance that he had was only 5 lakh rupees. Luckily, we are a close-knit family, everything was taken care of. But that acted as a reminder for me, because I was very shy of telling my friends and relatives or people known to me that, hey, you should be doing these things. And that acted as a reminder to me to tell me that I will tell what is right to tell in all forums that I can. If people judge me that, hey, ye bech raha hai, he's a salesperson, that's their problem, that's not my problem. So every opportunity I get, I will happily talk about what is the right thing to do, how much term insurance, how much health insurance, why SIP, how should you do your goal planning, and so on and so forth. Anurag just before me spoke about AI. AI has already started impacting some of the things. You asked some questions saying that, hey, earlier if people wanted to get some retirement planning done, they would tell us, no, see, I'm currently spending 50,000 rupees per month. If I retire at the age of 60, how much corpus do you think I should need? Now they can just ask this question to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT most likely will give a correct answer. right? So some things, some things will be taken away from us, or some things will be no longer a value add that we can provide. So we have to start thinking, are we connecting to clients only on money, or are we connecting to clients beyond money? Are we connecting to clients beyond money? There are some fantastic tools that are available. Life planning as a concept, which is different from financial planning, is a great idea for people to embrace. Do proper risk profiling. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. And life planning as a concept is a great idea to embrace, because you connect to the client at a very different level, and you no longer are just a mutual fund advisor for him or her. So I would say, and it has helped me bag one of my largest client till date, and I'll give an example, that story. So there is this person I know. He was with one of the very successful startups in India, and he was about to quit that startup and wanted to start something of his own. So he reached out to me because he knew that, hey, I am in this field. And I was fresh out of that life planning training program, which has this 3 question sets that they give us. Very interesting set of questions. I didn't want to put it here. We can always discuss that later on. And I said, why not let's meet for 45 minutes. And I took him through those questions, and he felt an instant connection with me, because I understood something which is very deeply rooted in him of why he wanted to do what he wanted to do. But at that point in time, I was not managing money anymore. I was trying this experiment of building a digital app for youngsters in India 10 years back. So I told him, I can't take your money. You take this elsewhere. So he went ahead with one of these large private banks. And 6 months later, he called me straight after one meeting with the RM there. My RM is leaving, Uday, and I want you to take care of my money. And today he's my largest client. So I'm just saying, life planning tools can be great tools to engage with client beyond money. Final, Sam is showing me I have 5 minutes left. I just want to say that everything compounds. When we talk about us as mutual fund distributors or advisors, we only think money compounds. No, just money does not compound. Your learning compounds, your health compounds, your network compounds, and that's when your wealth compounds. So invest time in learning, attending different types of conferences, different types of subjects, because it will compound over a period of time. Investors are not looking for people only who are very good at telling which scheme. That data is now available in 5 other places. They want people with whom they can have conversations, who can empathize with them, who can talk about different subjects, who can engage them at a much deeper level beyond just money. So with that, I will end with the final story of check writing. So the check writing story started with a 2,500 rupee check. And I made a bunch of mistakes writing those checks. In the last 5 years, I have written over 2 to 3 checks over 100 crores on a single day. And I'm saying that is possible for each one of you. For each one of you, because everything compounds. Just invest time there. Thank you so much for listening to me, and I hope I'm on time.
Any questions? That is a very, very inspiring speech from where he started, for his journey, and where he stands as of today. Still long way to go. Any questions to Uday? I would urge people to ask.
Sorry, thanks, Venki. These are 4 books which I would highly recommend. The first book is a book called Behavior Investment Counseling by Nick Murray. I think that book has had a lot of impact on how I advise people. When it comes to markets, my favorite book is by Howard Marks, The Most Important Thing. I think recently Arun of Funds India wrote this book called The 80-20 Money Makeover. I think this is a great book as much as for investors but for advisors. It gives you a lot of ideas of how you can shape your practice from an investment advice standpoint of view. And obviously, Morgan Housel, The Psychology of Money is a fantastic book, must read. So these are the 4 books that I would highly recommend. That's my email address. If ever you feel the need to reach out, feel free. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions? I have a suggestion to Uday. He should also write a book. So much of experience to share. It's a wonderful session, a practical experience from his journey. I know Uday from the time he started his journey. Very fortunate. We had worked together also for briefly. So Uday today covered very, very interesting aspects. One important thing is that he started off with check writing story of his. He asked you a question, are you an investment manager or investor manager? Most of us think that we are investment managers. That myth he busted. Then he spoke about how important is continuous learning. Beyond your NASM 5A and the PMS exams, are you learning? Are you investing time in learning? He spoke about that. And he also touched upon thing that bear market teaches more than the bull market. So learnings from bear market can really help. Beyond the qualification, the maturity comes by seeing different market cycles, that he emphasized on that. And more importantly, for all of us sitting here, one big message, how he built his business, IAPs, IAPs and IAPs. He is told that he has done more than 300 IAPs in Northeast itself, which helped him to build his business significantly. And he also spoke about beyond money, how can you engage with your clients on certain aspects he spoke about. And he closed with telling about 4 or 5 books which you can read to enhance your knowledge. So very well compiled session. Thanks a lot, Uday.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank
Any
you. Thank you
questions?
so much.
Still we have a couple of minutes if anybody wants to ask any question.
After a session, if no questions, either nothing is understood or everything is understood.
I think Uday,
you have been crystal clear, Mr. Uday Dhoot.
Thank you so much, sir.
That's the reason why there are no questions.
Thank you.
Sometimes it happens like that.
Thank you so much.
Your delivery was superb, and please let's give a standing ovation to Mr. Uday Dhoot.
Thank you. Thank you.
That
Thank
was
you.
wonderful, the 9 points. Please keep standing there. Can we have the president of AIFA Thrissur chapter, Mr. Ramakrishnan Manghat, to kindly come forward to hand over a small token of our appreciation to Mr. Uday Dhoot. Mr. Ramakrishnan Manghat, President, AIFA Thrissur chapter.
Thank you so much.